Hello, right, everyone, straight into live. Welcome, Abi. So we're going to talk about 3 ways to disrupt your finances for the better. So I'll introduce myself first. So I'm an experienced financial advisor, a mother of 2. I'm on a mission to help people connect with their future financial self and give them a clear financial roadmap. So I help business owners prepare for the expected and the unexpected to give them peace of mind. And this journey is also why I've founded a podcast. So a link to that will be coming soon. I also talk a lot about mindset that goes with money management, which is where Abi and I have teamed up because that's her area of expertise. So I'll pass over to Abi to introduce herself.
Good morning, I'm Abi Rogers. I'm a mum, I'm a singer, and I'm a psychotherapeutic mentor. And I've been working as a registered therapist for the last 7 years, so understand exactly how our subconscious mind works and how it tends to block us. And my business is all about helping driven people overcome their confidence barriers, so discovering their voice, helping them connect with being more assertive, being more able to show up in their lives in the way they want, helping them to realize their value and claim that value, which is why I'm so excited to be working with Bella today to help people realize their financial potential and to create their long-term vision for success, which also obviously dovetails really nicely with what we're doing here. And I'm just super passionate about helping people who have never had access to the bits and pieces that we need to pull together our financial journey and provide for a really stable financial future, because I think so many of us are missing that education and missing the confidence to do that. And so I'm part of this and helping Bella give you that education. So good morning, everybody. Nice to see you.
I think Abi and I really realised that whilst we all have mental blockages in various areas of our life, emotional blockages, it seems like the financial emotional blockages seem to be the worst, which is why we really wanted to, help people in that area, basically, which is where the webinars that we're going to be that are coming out. We've got a series of webinars, 4 webinars. We'll add a link in the comments as well. And there will also be a discount code for £40 off in the comments as well. And the first webinar is on the 22nd of May. Anyway, we'll get back to 3 ways to disrupt your finances. Abi, do you want to kick off with the first way that we've itemized?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the first thing for many of us is to recognize that there is a problem there. Okay, so it's really easy to just go about the day to day and kind of put finances on the back burner and just ignore them and think, well, I'm earning enough, I'm managing to meet my income is kind of meeting my living expenses, and things are okay. I don't have to worry about the future. I'm just going to live for the moment and kind of forget that. It all feels a bit complicated and far away. And maybe we hear words like pensions and that just sounds a bit terrifying. It doesn't really kind of connect with us. So I think recognizing that by burying our heads in the sand, we're actually sacrificing some of that financial stability in future, and we're disempowering that future version of ourselves, is a really powerful place to start. We all do this. It's not our fault. It's just that life is overwhelming and we run on autopilot. We tend to push away the hard stuff, the things that feel like they're difficult and out of our comfort zone. And we very much stay within the patterns we've always learned around managing money and just kind of repeating those cycles without wanting to bring anything else on board, just because life is busy and those things are difficult and feel quite scary. But realizing the impact that not taking action is having on our future, I think is really important. And Bella can probably give us a bit more of a background around that, like what her experience is in terms of how she's been able to help clients empower themselves to make that future better. Or can you jump in there and add, Bella?
Yeah, definitely. So just to add to, so point 1 is recognizing you have a problem, and we all have to do it, and it comes and goes in waves. I'm self-employed, so I have a variable income, and then you've got the basics of running your basic income and expenditure for your household. So spreadsheets are a wonderful thing if you know how to use spreadsheets, and I know Money Saving Expert has a very good spreadsheet that's available for use. So that's how you recognize that you have the problem. And then from that, going on to point 2 is really, as Abi has noted down here, gathering the facts and giving yourself a break. It's really then working out what those blockers are, and that it will likely be, well, I've always done it that way. Then there's the kind of ostrich mentality, you know, maybe you're dealing with stress at work, raising kids and things like that. So you're not really prioritizing your needs and your monetary needs as well. And I think it's really articulating. And I think money management actually comes under self-care, because when you're avoiding it, then that's when you're like the duck with paddling in the water, basically. So yeah, point 1, recognizing you have a problem, which likely starts with a budgeting spreadsheet. Point 2, gathering the facts and then taking a breath and realizing that there's a problem, and realizing what the behaviors are that is instilling around the problem. And then point 3 is to start taking action, which is really, finding good quality information that's going to help you. And there's plenty of it around on the internet. Obviously, Abi and I will be running a course as well, but that's the point of educating yourself. And not every bit of education will be completely applicable to you. It's finding the right pathway for you. Then it will also be consideration of paying for advice, essentially. I mean, obviously, I'm a financial advisor, and I can give many examples of when I've helped people and we've put a plan in place, and then we project forward that plan with a cash flow plan. Very scary cash flow plan, isn't it? Because we started with just recognizing that you have a problem, essentially. But where we want to get you is where you're empowered, and that you're getting the right mindset, and you're looking at things like cash flow, and you're getting the right help around you, basically. Do you want to go on to beliefs and unsupportive stories, which you've made a note of here, Abi?
Yeah, I will jump into that in a moment. I was just going to kind of add to what you were saying there, Bella, and I think very often it's easy to be a bit afraid of the cash flow plan and putting together those spreadsheets and all of those things, because that sounds really daunting, and our human brains run away from anything that does feel very daunting, difficult. I think what we have to realize for ourselves sometimes is the cost of not doing anything, and we have to really connect with that and make that clear in our own minds. So very often it's easy to forget that cost of not doing anything. Can you help people understand a little bit like what they might be missing out on by not taking action, by just
so we have cost of delay. From a financial advice point of view, I'm not allowed to sort of go into specific figures and specific situations, because that's straying into giving advice. But essentially, when you don't take action and you don't start investing, even if it's just £100 on a regular monthly basis, you're not getting, for example, with a pension, you would be getting tax back from the government. So if you put £80 into a pension, the government will top that up to £100. So you get £20 of so-called tax back or free money from the government. And simply by starting early and getting the long-term compound growth over the long term, there's a huge benefit to starting early, which then brings you back to things like pensions for kids, because in my mind, that is really trying to sort of break the intergenerational cycle with actually what can be a relatively small amount of money, when you add in the tax breaks. So it's taking the concept of starting early and saying, well, hey, children can have pensions from when they're born. So let's take that concept of starting early and try and, help them with the mistakes that we may have made in terms of starting later. But there'll be many cost of delay calculators on the internet. So have a look at those.
That's an awesome idea. Yeah. So it's not actually just you that you're impacting by taking action or not taking action. It's the rest of the family. It's future generations. And yeah, that's why I love the work that we're doing together, is by helping empower yourself. You're also really putting a footprint in the sand, aren't you? Saying, let's start making a difference here, and
and we're healing ourselves on the journey as well. Let's not, we're not perfect. We all have days when we make a whoopsie with money, but equally as well, money is this thing that you have to have a balance with and a good relationship with, a bit like I'm trying to make sure I have a better relationship with food, and say, well, okay, if I want a hot cross bun, I'm going to have one and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not going to eat it with butter and jam and guilt, I'm going to have it and I'm going to enjoy it, because it's about having a good relationship with what's going into my body. Same as having a good relationship as what's going out of your bank account, is saying, yeah, I paid for that and I enjoyed it. So there is definitely a balance, and we all struggle with that balance on a day-to-day basis, which brings you to things like mindset and that constant personal development. I've actually had some success this week with meditation, but equally, if I plotted that success, it would be, day 1 was 4 minutes, day 2 I forgot what I was doing and ended up on my phone. Day 3 I didn't do it, and then day 4 I did 10 minutes, and that is the journey, and that's what we've got to be kind to ourselves with.
Absolutely.
So definitely, yeah.
Great stuff. You asked a couple of minutes ago about mindset issues and the beliefs we have that limit us and hold us back. And of course, our first webinar, we're going to be really diving into that in a lot of depth and helping everybody who's there uncover basically what those fundamental beliefs are for them. There are so many narratives we get brought up with societally. If we've never been part of the wealth club, the old boys network, it's very, very easy to feel that we're no good with money. It's very easy to feel that numbers aren't our thing. Like, there's this whole load of rubbish around boys being better than girls at maths in school. Actually, it's complete nonsense. It's just that boys believe they are better, therefore they are more likely to give it a go and take the risk. So there are those kinds of beliefs, and if I just kind of illustrate a few of my own personal ones along the way as well, maybe that will help people kind of go, oh yeah, maybe those are true for me as well. So I always was very afraid of letting go of money. That was a really big thing for me. I just wanted to kind of keep it all to myself, keep it safe. I was afraid of spending, like bargain hunting all the time, rushing straight for the sale bin in the shops. That was a kind of a big part of my programming. It was like you hold on to every penny and you spend it really carefully, and it's like hard to let go and invest in even things that might bring more money to you in the long run. It still feels really scary. It still feels really that was a massive one for me, being able to let go of that and say, actually, it's safe to do that. It's okay to move forward, and I'm going to trust that investing this money is going to help me grow. It's going to help bring more money my way. So that was a biggie. And also just feeling disempowered to have conversations around money and to feel that I could do this thing that I'd seen all the men in my life doing all the way through. And I was often in my earlier days kind of talked down to because I didn't have a lot of confidence. Men would talk over me. People would kind of ignore the things I wanted to ask, or I just felt like if I did ask questions, then I'd be made to look stupid. And getting over that and just taking back my own power as well, and having the confidence to challenge those people who were so kind of high and mighty and lofty, and say, no, this is what I want to do. Explain to me, put me in the picture, help me. I might not be where you are, but help me get to where I need to be with this thing. And just empowering myself to pick up those books and learn a bit more about finance for myself as well. So I guess they were kind of really big ones, and loads more that I've dealt with along the way as well. But many of us have these stories like, it's not safe, money's something we don't talk about, it's shameful. We're going to really explore this in some depth during that first webinar.
And I think finding a buddy as well, the fact that we're even having this conversation, strangely enough, if we weren't recording this, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation and buddying up like this. So there's that benefit, and that's what our course will also provide. I would like to provide people with a mentor, and the mentor, like ourselves, will be imperfect, but you help each other on that journey. So just to break down what's going to be in the different webinars that we're offering. So we've got 22nd of May. We'll be creating a roadmap for your finances. So that includes both disrupting the mindset that you have and putting together a roadmap for you to move forward, finding out what's blocking you, unconscious biases and things like that. And then the 13th of June, we'll be creating a cash flow plan. And also Abi can talk us through this concept of connecting with your future financial self. I think it's very much like saying, what will I say about my finances in 25 years time? What can I do now to help that person? Because we're all planning for 100-year life. Longevity is a big deal these days. Definitely. And then we've got the 13th of June. Sorry, I just did the 13th of June. And then we've got the 10th of July, which will be preparation for release into the wide world, basically. So what will happen there is we'll say, right, we've given you a bit of a roadmap, we've got you started, but now you need to go out and perhaps, carry on this educational journey yourselves, ask the right questions, and keep building on that confidence.
Absolutely. So we hope to see you there. Obviously, that would be wonderful. But just to kind of make sure we're giving you the 3 tips that we've promised today, 3 ways to start disrupting your finances right now. So we've talked a lot about recognizing you have a problem and finding a way forward for yourself in terms of recognizing what the cost of that problem might be. Taking action, we've said, like, what's the first small step you can take towards empowering yourself right now? Can you go and the calculator, start to work out what those costs might be, or start to say, like, how can I just start to put my head into my finances a bit more and understand what is truly going on, or empower myself with more knowledge in some other way to help me overcome some of that paralysis that has been holding me back. And I think another really important thing, so the third big tip that I would give is just to give yourself a break. So often as well, we're really hard on ourselves. Maybe we've not dealt with things in the past and we're feeling guilty about that, or we're feeling a lot of anxiety around not having done anything, or we're really feeling worried about what might be revealed when we do start to move forward. And I think, like, just recognizing that it's quite normal to feel a bit intimidated by all this stuff. It's quite normal for these feelings to come up. And our brain loves to keep us in action by battering us with all these negative emotions and saying, I can't do this, and I'm rubbish, and I've never managed to do it before. Why should I be able to do it now?
And that is an essential part, though. Actually hitting those emotions head on is an essential part to progressing, because I find when I take people through the financial advice process, is until the emotions come up, we're not really going to be in a position where we can progress anyway, because we don't get the why. So just understand that we all get hit by a bus like those emotions. So
totally, yeah, our brain just loves to paint things in the most negative light possible. So when you do start taking a little bit of action, it's completely normal for all this stuff to come up. I think recognizing that that's normal and it's okay, and that is a good place to start. So allow that to be, and just say, this is fine. I'm going to accept that this is part of the process, and I'm going to move forward anyway, in spite of that. And again, during that first session, we're going to help you feel a lot more supported, feel a lot more like you can take this and run with it and start to get good with money and good at managing these finances. So even if you've had negative experiences in the past, even if you've never felt able to manage your own money, then don't worry, we're here to hold your hand and help you through it, and you can absolutely do it. If I can do it, you can totally do it too. So.
Definitely. And we're going to be doing a price rise at midnight tonight, so it'll go up to £110, but there will be a discount code for £40, which I will add into the comments after I come off this call, because I'm not multitasking. Yeah, so that's all 4 webinars, which will then come in £40 discount, basically. So
yeah, so you get them for £70. I think, if my maths is good, we get
£7. Yeah.
They are all going to be recorded as well, so it's not just that you've got to be there at that specific day and time.
Definitely, yeah.
Those dates, and you go, oh no, I'd love to do this, but I just can't manage to be there. Then don't worry, you can get access to them anyway, and you will have access to them for a good long while afterwards. There was something else I was going to say. It's popped off the tip of my tongue. Oh, are we just we're just, if you're not quite sure that you want to do the whole series 4, and you're thinking, maybe I'll just try the first one and uncover some of those limiting beliefs, and that's all I want to do for now, then you're also welcome to buy that first one individually. Bella will again post the details in the comments, and you can check that one out. Do you remember what price point we put that at, Bella? My brain.
We'll discuss that after this.
Yes, but needless to say, you're going to be getting great value if you decide to get all 4 of them for £70 using that discount code. So good opportunity to get definitely like 4 for the price of 3 or 4 for the price of 2 or something like that. But we'll put all the details in the comments along with some accurate pricing because it's gone out of my brain. And you'll have it. But we would love to see you. We would love to help you take control of those finances and just feel like you can do this because you absolutely can.
Great. I've just realised my camera has been at a slightly jaunty angle for the whole time. So that's great.
Joy of life.
None of us are perfect, hey? Well, we'll hopefully see you all there. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Bye.